Hello, in this video I'm gonna compare some technical parameters of the DJI Osmo 360 as well as Insta360 X5. These devices are pretty similar, and yes, they are similar, mostly because the DJI looks very, let's say, inspired by the Insta360, but I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, we actually like the Insta360, so getting inspired by it isn't a bad thing. Now, let's compare a few things that I noticed are different. So, first of all, I know that the Insta360 has supports waterproofing up to 15 meters, whereas the DJI Osmo 360 just 10 meters. So that's actually quite a big difference. Also, the microphones here on the DJI, there's just this little microphone, then the other one, and here, right? No, sorry, here. Or is it even a speaker? I know that these are the microphones. This one I don't really know about. But the problem here is that those don't have a windshield, where on Insta there is a really good windshield. It's been improved in comparison to previous generations, even though the previous generations had it already pretty good. Now let's look into the system, because this system is actually quite similar. Let's skip that. Yeah, so the system is similar because it was inspired. And when I slide up from the bottom, I open these settings. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna switch to the video mode, so we have the same things here. You can see both of these support 8K, and here what gets different: 50 FPS in 8K on this device, and just 30 in 8K on Insta360. In 6K, we have up to 60 FPS, whereas in here we have 5.7, not 6K, but it's not that big of a thing. And in 5.7 plus we have 30, and in 5.7 we have up to 60. In 4K we have up to 120, and here on DJI Osmo in 4K we only have 100 FPS, no other option. Now here, if I slide down, we can see the system is like very similar. The displays are different because this one is horizontal, this one's vertical. I think that depends on what you actually are pointing on. I think this display is better to preview if you're recording something that will be displayed horizontally later. And this one is great if you're recording it for social media, like for Instagram, and you just want it to be vertical. Now the other things here is the photo mode. If I switch to the photo mode, let's switch photo. Of course there's also single lens modes on both, but these are 360 cameras, and that's what we care about the most. Let's slide up and let's see the resolution, because there's also a difference. On this one you have 120 or 30 megapixels. And of course in 30 you can enable HDR. Now here you have 72 megapixels or 18, and both do support HDR. So that's worth noting. It's just up to you. Now the built-in storage. This one has 105 gigabytes of built-in storage. 105, and I'm speaking of the storage already like after the setup of the device, so I'm not counting the system. Probably there's something around 128, but it's getting discovered as 105. I don't have an SD card in, and it has 105 gigabytes. This one, the Insta, doesn't work without an SD card. So that is also worth noting. Of course, both do support SD card. You can also use the DJI with the SD card. Both do have the screw holes on the bottom, so you can screw in a stick or a tripod. They also have these holes for attaching like some other accessories. It's great. The batteries on both can be taken out very easily. Yeah, and they can be charged. That's basically it. This one has an additional button, the Q button, you can see. And the Q button actually can switch between different modes that you can set up. Those like activity modes like motorcycling, skiing, or outdoors, or some other ones. And you can customize them yourself. And the power button just turns off the device. Now, this functionality isn't removed on this one, because here you can just click on the power button shortly to switch between modes that you set. You can set in the settings which modes will be assigned to the power button, and pressing and holding on the power button will result in simply shutting the device down. Now let's also see what else do we got here, because these are, as I said, pretty similar. They have all the things like the gesture control and the voice control. It all works. The voice control is a little different on both. You can see the OS is like very, very similar. You can choose the language, and then it's basically similar. The Insta has the mark option. The mark is like, it marks a certain point in the video that you can later view in the app what was marked, so you can say that when something important was recorded. That's also a great feature, but those features are just like pretty small, I think. Yeah. Also, this one can automatically, the Insta360 can automatically send data to the cloud if you have a subscription for it, for the cloud. Once it's just charging, I mean, once it's at night, for example, even if you're not using it. This one, actually, you need to do it manually from the app, but it's not that big of a deal. And also, it's worth noting that this one, in the app, you have lots of different AI features that help you better edit the videos, adjust the viewport, adjust different things, some highlights, AI highlights. This is getting pretty helpful. This one isn't packed with AI, but some people just don't care about it. And you know, this one, the DJI, is cheaper a little bit. So if you don't care about those features, choose the DJI. But if you care about features like the Insta offers, then you can choose the Insta. Remember that this one has a built-in storage, this one doesn't. And this one doesn't have a windshield on the microphone, and this one does. So choose whichever one you like, and I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.